the goal of this court to preserve families whenever possible. Therefore, my ruling is that Langston Wild will hereby be placed in the custody of her uncle Ray Montez.
You can't do that!
You can't. I mean, up until just recently, he didn't even know she existed.
Yeah, and Langston doesn't want to live with him. Didn't you hear her? You brought on this suit without any notice here.
You don't even know what this man's real motives are.
Right, and to make her live with a man that she doesn't even know? A teenage girl without any recourse?
A teenage girl. It's criminal, and I won't allow it.
I will remind you all that this is my courtroom. Everyone, sit down. Dr. Lord, sit down. I'm not insensitive to the feelings aroused by this case. In fact, I'm heartened that this foster placement was so successful.
It was not a placement. She has a family.
I'm sure Miss Wilde will always value your relationship, Dr. Lord, but the law is clear. I have no choice but to award guardianship of Miss Wilde.
She's a Kramer.
To her uncle, Ray Montez.
Dr. Lord wishes to appeal your decision, and pending the appeal, we respectfully request you allow Langston to remain with her family.
Counselor, I'm sure you are aware that as a foster parent, Dr. Lord lacks standing in this case.
What? I have no rights? And this murderer can waltz in here and abduct my child?
Your Honor, we produced proof that Mr. Montez's conviction was overturned.
Oh, and who did he buy off?
Dr. Lord, given your record and your actions in this court, I suggest you refrain from casting stones.
Excuse me, Judge, may I say something here? I mean, you're willing to take this child out of a loving environment, an environment that Langston considers her home now, and toss her over to a man that she just met last week?
Case law supports returning the child to a blood relative.
Oh, come on!
How do you know this guy's who he says he is?
I'm afraid my hands are tied. Ray Montez is awarded custody.
Wait,
Yes, Miss Wilde?
what does all this mean for me? I mean, do I have to live with my uncle now?
Until you reach 18, yes.
Langston, please. I promise you. It's hard to imagine right now, but you will come to love living in Colombia.
You can't make her leave the country. She's a citizen of the United States.
Langston's home is here.
Sit down, all of you. Actually, Miss Wilde has dual citizenship.
Your Honor, may I speak? Up until 2 years ago, this young girl's home was with her parents. She was fortunate to be taken in by Dr. Lord. I will always be most grateful for that generosity. But just as Langston has adapted to the loss of her mother and father and to being thrown into the world of these people, surely she will adapt to a new home with me in the country of her mother.
Okay, I would really appreciate if everyone would stop talking about me like I'm not even here. This is my life.
Yes, it is, and you should have a say in it, sweetheart.
And with all due respect, Your Honor, you'd be forcing her to move away from her community, her school, her friends.
There will be benefits to this change, an adventure, much like the one her mother went on when she came to
You
America.
are making her move to another country? That's child trafficking!
Your Honor, I object to Dr. Lord's characterization.
As do I.
She's a citizen of the United States, and she should not be forced, even by a blood relative, to move away from the country she loves against her will.
I did not come here to make a fire. Nor did I come here to settle down. I only came because of my niece. It has always been my intention. It remains my intention to return with her to Colombia.
Excuse me, Your Honor. May I speak?
Dr. Lord.
Your Honor, as reprehensible as it is to give custody of my daughter to a man she only met a few days ago, to allow him to take her out of the country is unconscionable.
You are trying my patience, Dr. Lord.
Do you want this on your conscience? To turn an innocent young woman over to a man who has spent the last 2 years in prison? And I don't care how he got his release, because the Colombian prison system is notorious for its corruption. All I care about is what will happen to this innocent young woman once she is left alone with that man. I'm not a perfect parent, but I am, unlike Mr. Montez, a known commodity. I'm controlling. I'm overprotective. I am intrusive. My girls can enumerate for you my many faults, and they often do, but they always know that I love them with all of my heart and soul. Langston used to have purple hair. Did you know that? And she's a very, very talented writer. Did you know that? I know that he did not know that. And she's loyal. Oh my goodness, my great niece, Star, she went through a big crisis this year. And I don't think she could have gotten through it without Langston. And the young man seated over there is Langston's boyfriend, a young man who's more of a man at 17 than many men 3 times his age. And Langston is a survivor. She has triumphed over the loss of her parents and the loss of her home. And is this how you are going to reward her? By not listening to her when she tells you what she wants? By taking her away from everything and everybody that she loves? What kind of a lesson are you teaching if you ignore her wishes?
That sometimes life is unfair, Dr. Lord. And despite our best intentions, we don't always know the right answer. I'm very sorry.
No, you are not sorry. You power-tripping son of a bitch!
Dorian, come
Yes!
on. No, stop.
Yes!
Dorian, come on, come on.
You,
Just
sir,
do this.
are a soulless
Dorian.
tyrant!
Stop. Okay, stop. Okay, come on. Just calm down. Marcus, I'm gonna be right here. She's making this worse, isn't she?
Hey, if you really cared about Langston, you wouldn't do this.
Dorian, it's okay.
No, it's not okay. It's not
Dr.
okay
Lord,
at all.
Dr. Lord, I would advise you to proceed with restraint and respect.
Unfortunately, Your Honor, I have lost all respect for you. However, in the interests of justice, why don't we all just give you a few minutes to reconsider your decision and do the right thing?
Or what, Dr. Lord?
Or I will ruin your life and decimate your career, the same way I did with the Buchanans.
What did you just say?
Dr. Lord is trying to convey just how hard it is for her to let go
I
of
will
her
not
daughter.
allow anyone to violate a child. Do you understand me? I said I would ruin you, and I will. I will use every resource at my command. My roots in this community, my connections politically, and in the media. I will bring you down. And when I'm through with you, so...
Okay, that's it. I'm citing you for contempt.
No, come on.
Bailiff, take Dr. Lord into
No,
custody.
just, Your Honor, please.
Because we all think you're so...
There is room down in juvenile court for 4 more.
Down.
The charge stands. Dr. Lord, I've given you a lot of rope, and you've hung yourself. Now you can conduct my downfall behind bars. Court adjourned. Now you may all rise.
Dr. Lord.
Hey! Yeah. And you can make this easy, or you can make it hard.
Hey,